It's going. All right, we are live. You all share. We have some awesome married couples on here from different areas. So let me make sure I'm starting to share and people are starting to join us. Do you all see it on your Facebook? Please share.
Share alike. I want as many people as possible to get some of this goodness you guys are going to distribute tonight. Look like Mike, like you got some Christmas lights going on outside there.
Hey, you see my snow? That's all we doing in Boynton.
Yes. I hope y'all ain't paying because boy, he got it going on over there. Christmas time in the city.
All right. So let me see. Okay, while we're waiting for people to come on, we're gonna let Mr. Turner open up in prayer like we usually do, and then we'll go in and let you all introduce yourselves to the world again, and then we'll start you off with some awesome questions about marriage and the holiday. How is it? So, open up, Mr. Turner.
Give me just a minute of time. Bow your heads real quickly. Heavenly Father, come to you this evening. Thank you and praise your holy name. Thank you just for this gathering. Thank you for allowing us to just be here today, dear Father. I ask you, dear Father, to work your magic through all of us today, dear Father. I ask you to flow through me and Rhonda, flow through these couples, these husbands and wives. Allow this conversation to be fruitful to someone, dear Father. Allow this conversation to touch someone's heart, someone's home, someone's marriage. Allow them to be able to grow from it, to venture from it, to just be better from it, dear Father. I ask you just to continue to cover us as we continue our journey, dear Father. Each and every last couple has a journey, dear Father, ministry of some kind, dear Father. So I ask you to touch them, dear Father, keep them, continue to push them forward when they get weary and they get tired, dear Father. Just continue to show in them that they can do it and that you are with them in this journey, dear Father. I ask you to continue to cover us, bless us, and guide us tonight and keep us. In your son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So we will start with welcome to Let's Talk with the Turners. And we love to talk with married couples, positive, saying positive things, doing positive things out there. And so we're going to just let them introduce themselves. As you all know, we are the Turners, Jason, and Rhonda.
I'm just saying we're switch roles tonight.
This switch roles. No. So we'll start with the Thomas. Go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, blase.
Okay, my name is Dre Thomas.
I'm Sheree Thomas.
We're from Alabama.
Welcome.
Thank
T.
you.
Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ovette Wilson, and this is
Adrienne Wilson. Good evening.
And we're in Tampa, Florida.
Welcome. Mr. Joneses.
How you doing? I'm Coach Darryl Jones, my beautiful wife.
Coach Angela Jones.
And we're in Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome. And last but not least, the Norwoods.
Evening, I'm Sherilyn Norwood,
I'm Mike Norwood.
and we bring you greetings from Boynton Beach, Florida.
Welcome. Now,
Beautiful weather. Different vibes.
Yes.
Different vibes, right?
it depends on who you ask, brother. It depends on who you ask.
Different vibes.
We call it paradise.
Yeah, once again, we're just excited to have everyone on. If these couples look familiar to some of our regulars, because they've been on before. These are the couples we've interviewed, we've had conversations with before. And we just thought it would be a great thing to bring them all on together and just have a good conversation about the holidays, about relationships during the holidays, and just how do they celebrate, how do they cope, how do they deal with their kids, just the whole gamut of being husband and wife during this time of year. I don't think people understand, but it may be a little different when you're husband and wives and you got your kids, you got blended families, you got grandkids. And then you have sometimes you have struggles. You know, everything from the outside looks good, but sometimes we have struggles, you know, trying to keep up. You know, we sometimes when we're in relationships and we're married and got our kids, you know, we want them to have, you know, they come home and mom and dad, we want this and that and other, we want them to have. And as sometimes as husbands and wives and parents, we feel some kind of way when we're not able to always, you know. So we just want to, you know, figure how we deal with all those situations. We have some seasoned veterans on here that have done it on a couple of generations. We have some young people on here that are just learning how to do it. So we just want to get to perspectives on the whole gamut.
All right. So my first question is going to be not just about Christmas, but how has 2020 been for you and your marriage? This 2021 and, you know, during the COVID time, how has that been for your marriage?
Start with Wilson. I think he can answer now. He's been pretty busy this year.
You know what I was gonna say, Rhonda? I was gonna say that you said 2020, but 2020 is kind of like a season. So I know it's 2021, but when you think about 2020, you think about the pandemic. You think about kids coming home from school. You think about how the world shut down and then opened back up, and then for some of us has shut back down again. And so when I think about how that has impacted my family as a whole, I think it has made us more aware of things that are going on internally with our kids.
Right.
Yeah,
You know, go ahead.
we got a chance to really learn, like to really, like, you know, really parent. And we, you know, we do a lot of family sessions because we're coaches and counselors by trade and everything, but we do a lot of sessions with our kids, and we got a chance to really learn them and understand what's going on, good and bad, but we got a chance to really learn ourselves and examine ourselves without the busyness of life.
Yes.
So it was definitely an examining and learning season, I think, that we had as a family.
And that we still have.
And we still have.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Anyone else? Wilson's?
Go
Go ahead, Ms. Norwood.
Well, I was going to say, I think it brought us closer together. We're already close, but it was a difference, I believe, because as you stated, 2020, and we knew you probably were talking 2021, but as the Joneses stated, you have to kind of go back to that 2020. And of course, we're both COVID survivors. And we
Awesome.
had that almost aha moment that we could have lost each other. And it had gotten to a point where both of us didn't even want the other out of each other's sight. We were going like everywhere together. So we got to even know, even after going through these 52 years, there was still a side of him I got to learn, and I think side of me he got to learn. And I think that the children piece, I like that because we had our grandkids too, and we were trying to see how this was affecting them mentally because she did virtual school and we were here with her, and we could just see the effect all of this had on everybody in every kind of way. But I think it made us even stronger when we thought we were already strong enough because we've been through so much as a married couple, because you have your mountains and your valleys and everything, but it just made us even stronger.
Generally, when we talk about 2020 or the COVID period, we think of it in a negative sense, but there were a number of positives that came out of it, and getting closer and gaining a better understanding of each other, especially in the communication area. It was positive because couldn't go anywhere, so you definitely had to learn how to listen without going into your feelings, and then address the issues as they came up. So I look at it more on the positive side than I do on the negative, because when you look death in the face, you
Yeah.
just want to, stay away from that and just appreciate what you have. And I think that's the big plus that came out of it. Learn to appreciate what you have or what I got.
I know for us, 2020 was like that setup year for 2021, because you got some time to reflect, you got some time to connect, you got some time to slow down. And for us, we entered 2021 with like setting some clear, like we did vision boards as a family. I remember shutting down one night and it took us several hours and we got them all done. And then we presented it to each other for the 2021 because we're coming out of that pandemic year. And we're like, listen, we're going to make the vision plain. And so we charted it, pictures and everything, laminated them, put them up in the house. It really, even to the point where we did a 90-day plan. I did a 90-day plan. We come from the education world. So like, strategic thinking, like, your key levers, all of that good stuff. And we just watched 2021 like flowed like we've never seen it before. But it was a setup from 2020 that gave us some pause to really say, wait a minute. Now this we got to make sure this year to come is absolutely phenomenal. And so we were really intentional about approaching this year.
And I would
Vision
add,
board worked.
Yeah, that vision board works.
yeah, I would add that if I had to pick a word to define what this year has been or this season it has been for us, I would say recommitment. Not that we weren't committed before, but when you go through a pandemic and you see so many lives being lost or near-death experiences, it really does, it like Ovette said, it creates a time of pause to reflect and to really kind of look at life differently, in a way that every minute counts. Every minute matters, every interaction matters, every conversation, just not to take life for granted. And so we took a year, 2021, and we unplugged from some things, intentionally unplugged, and gave ourselves back the time that we needed so that we could reconnect, just recommit. So that 90-day plan that Ovette is talking about, he used that, he created the 90-day plan with some things that he wanted to have a stronger commitment to in our marriage and in our family. And that 90-day plan at the start of this year was like a reboot. It was like a refocus. And so, and those vision boards, I think we did something different that we've never done. Our vision boards are displayed. So we pass them every single day in our bathrooms, and just having that constant reminder and looking at the things that we put on our vision boards. Our kids did vision boards too. And when we had some valley experiences and moments, kind of going back to that vision board and helping to keep us motivated has really been beneficial.
Yeah, I know. Well, I would say 2020, like everyone had already said, as far as COVID starting, I would look at it as a detox, as a physical detox, physical and spiritual, meaning that, like a lot of y'all have already said, you have to disconnect yourself from some things that you didn't see as hindrances, but it actually was a hindrance. But I guess when you're constantly in a cycle, doing the same thing over and over again because that's the norm, and you don't realize the issue that's really in it. When COVID came, it actually stopped a lot of stuff. and gave you the time to be able to reevaluate self, look at the outcome of the situation, that you was in, and allow you to be able to actually step back from everything and reevaluate yourself. And with us, it brought us closer because we was actually doing to the point that was actually even us within, with leadership with ourselves, with me and my wife, along with our kids, leadership was starting to take head over our family. And even though our kids were right there with us all along, it was actually taking time away from them. And when, COVID happened, it showed us that, okay, we got to stop, press pause, reevaluate what's really going on. And even with me being a man, even with my job, like I work for UPS, so my job is very demanding. So I spent more time at work than I did at home. And I end up having an injury at work that actually put me off of work. But it was that time for me being off, I grew more with my family and being in my children's life. So with all COVID and everything going on, I thank God that we never caught it. We never contracted COVID. Even with me delivering, I came in contact with people that had COVID and never got it. We constantly just prayed and believed God that we were going to be covered no matter what. And even in it, he kept us and also kept our family and reconcile our family as well. Kept us even in, it was like God allowed us, I'm speaking for me and my wife, he allowed the very thing that broke up families and took away people, he allowed that to bring us closer together. And just to see the level and opportunity of it, like I tell my wife all the time, it's all about your perspective and your perception of how you see a thing, how you look at it, and how you approach it. Because if you approach COVID as, oh, this thing's taking people out, which it was, but if you don't if that's all you see and you don't see deeper in it, then all you would get out of it is taking people out. And that 2020 to 2021, it really gave us a self-evaluation, gave us a reality check. We did more in the pandemic than we have our whole 7 years being married.
Absolutely. And like I totally agree with Dre 100%. When the pandemic first happened, I made a decision for me to come home from teaching, and I stayed home with the kids for a year. And like he said, even though I was there with them daily, there was a lot about them that I didn't know. We have a teenage daughter, so we got a chance to sit down and, have those deep conversations that we didn't have because you're used to just working, running every day, going to church, just the same thing. And it actually gave us time to sit down, like he said, and reevaluate. And on the spiritual side, we understand that we're in the last days and things are going to get rough. So instead of, and at first it was fearful. It was a place that none of us had never seen or had been before, but it was also a time for the God in us to rise up, to pray more, to speak those things that be not. We still have a life to live, and regardless to COVID, Delta, or whatever, God is still God. And it actually pushed us into a deeper place spiritually, not to just, go in the house, shut down life, and just stay in a place of being fearful. It actually birthed some, spiritual, some deeper, like our prayer life, reading and studying the word more, speaking more. It actually brought more out of us spiritual. And I don't think we'll ever go back to being normal. We won't. I mean,
would
it
say-
is the word. We won't. But I'm grateful. I'm so grateful.
But see, not only did it activate more in us, it also activated our kids.
Exactly.
Because how is it that our kids were still with us, but they weren't activated?
Mhm.
But then when we got in position,
Mhm.
then they became activated.
Right. And they began to pray.
So
more.
they was walking. They was walking in the path, following us, but they weren't activated.
Mhm.
And now, I mean, it does something when you see your 2-year-old, your 5-year-old, your 6-year-old leading prayer at church, at home, having a desire and hunger to pray, and you see your 14-year-old daughter standing out amongst her peers. I mean, it constantly goes back. It constantly goes back to, I'm sorry, I ain't mean to take y'all time. I'm so sorry. Look, this wasn't even, look, listen. We just supposed to answer the question, and then that's supposed to be in it. But
Pastor, you good? Pastor, you good?
cut it out. I would say this. I'll share this dream I had. And this really is my testimony of 2020. I had a dream that basically I was in a dream, but I went from a dream into an encounter. And in that encounter, basically, I was in the presence of God. And in that, when I first entered into that realm, I heard a bunch of music, right? But it wasn't music being played, it was music being sung. And what it was angels speaking, singing. But the sound that they were projecting was a sound that couldn't be recreated. And I heard a voice that said, your tone sets the mode your family walks in. So when I first heard it, it startled me. Then I heard it again. Your tone sets the mode your family walks in. And then he said it one more time. So this voice was God. It was a powerful, strong voice. So that's why I say anybody that's on here, that's viewing this, gonna see this, God is real. Okay. I'm gonna put that out there. So then he posed the question, do you want to see me? So when he said that, in my natural mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, God, if I see you, then I'm about to leave this earth. I'm about to depart from this earth. So my response was, God, I got my family still here, So it jumped ship real quick, I said, I got my family here. And once I responded to him, I said, well, Lord, let your will be done. Well, I woke up in a dream and I had my daughter laying on my chest in the dream. And then after that, I woke up. But the more and more I think about that and I hear that, it still shows me the revelation I get from it is, it's your tone, a man's tone, the head tone that sets the mold for his family. So if the mold isn't set for his family, then therefore, how can a man expect their family to walk or go forth in what they're created to? So it was not only strategic, but it had to happen that I get self right in 2020. We could find ourselves being stagnant for so long that we end up letting things die out, overdue, that need to go for. And when I had that dream, it was like, okay, God, I hear you. but that came in the middle of a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of a pandemic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we just, I don't know, most of you all are on the Let's Talk page, on the Facebook page. And I put that video, a pastor was saying that about setting the tone, that the man sets the tone, and it was just amazing just to hear that piece. And we were like, wow. And you just said the same thing, what God said to you. Anybody else want to say anything on that piece about the men setting the tone in their home? Yeah.
I was listening to another minister speak. It was a husband and wife, and I hope I get it right. She said, the men are the thermostat, and the women are the men are the temperature gauge, and the women are the thermostat. And he said that the men are what they are, but the women can turn the gauge just a little bit. So if the man comes home and he's a little hot, women, all you gotta do is turn the gauge down just a little bit cooler, and he'll come on down. If it come on a little cool, you want to heat him up a little bit, just turn the gauge up a little bit, and guess what thermostat do? It turns up. And it's amazing because even in that, he still is the tone setter.
That was the show.
Yeah, I think that was my wife, the show she was watching. And I just always tell men and our teachers and our everything that men, the Bible speaks on us being the head of our home, being the lead. You can talk about all this 2020 stuff and all this new age things and all these things that people want to tell you that have changed, but the order of things is very important. God put order in things for a reason. It wasn't by mistake. And when the order is disrupted, guess what happens? Things get out of whack. But if the order is in place, I don't care how much the wind blows, I don't care how much the water rises, I don't care how much turmoil comes around. If that thing is in order, guess what it's going to do? It's going to stand. Because it's built right. But if it's built right, when the winds go to blowing, like one of my favorite songs, My Soul is Anchored. He said the breakers may dance, the rivers may roar, but guess what? We ain't this thing solid because the order is set. So when I hear that, it just reconfirms to me what I always teach when I hear, especially young people, young men. You have to learn to keep things in order. If you keep things decent in order, like they say, these women don't want this and that. I say, man, the Bible tells you a woman's natural nature is to follow. Her natural nature, she wants to be led. She wants to be guided. She wants you to take her where she has to go. But don't get mad because she don't follow no food. don't give a sign yourself because she looks up and say, it looks kind of dark down there. The last time you took me down there, I came out a little beat up. I ain't going down there no more. You guys show me you can protect me, brother. Because I guarantee you, every one of us got wives on here. And if we say, baby, let's go, they might say, baby, I ain't sure. But if you say, come on, guess what they do? All right, you got me. Now, you know she come out a little bagged up, what she gonna do? when you get home? She gonna help bandage you up, but she gonna talk trash to you while she doing it. I told you not to go, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how it is. But that's their natural order. But we're gonna get back on topic. It's Christmas.
Hey, Jason, just to piggyback on you and what the Rev had shared, I found that oftentimes as a man, we feel like we have to take
Are you
on
guys watching the game?
the weight of the world by ourselves. But once you learn to share whatever's going on with you, with your helpmate, you can face the world together. No matter what we're gonna have trials and tribulations. There's no way of getting around that. But once you learn to share and sit down and work it out and come out with a strategic plan, It's almost nothing you can't face together.
Awesome. I think the Wilsons was getting ready to say something, or was it the Jones? Which one? Okay.
I just wanted to say something very effective to keep men leading and strong is being able to confess and talk to your spouse about what's going on in your heart, your mind, your thoughts, and your ways. Always being able to speak. One thing in my house, we speak. One of my greatest frustrations in life is when a person can express. Now, that's just something naturally in my personality trait, but one thing I always let my wife know is what's going on so that I'm not carrying the weight of the world on my shoulder and it's basically breaking my whole body down because I got this going on and I'm trying to act like nothing ain't going on. And one of the greatest ways that can divide a marriage is when a wife doesn't know what you're going through and she's responding to you not knowing that this is what you're going through and because you don't tell her what's really going on. It's basically removing all bits of pride. That's very, very important for men, removing all traces of pride. To piggyback off what my man said is sharing what's going on. Baby, this is what's going on right now. I had to actually talk to my wife today because if you don't share with the wife what's going on, thoughts formulate in her mind. Thoughts formulate in her mind and you won't be on track together because she's thinking it's A and really you're at C. The goal is to get you guys back together to A. So as men, I was reading a book by T.D. Jakes, Emotions. One of the things that men don't do is they don't express. They express to their friends. They don't express what's really going on. We have it, we're called to lead, but we're also called to confess your sins to one another so that healing may occur. So lead, but lead healthy. Lead with a renewed mind and a soft heart and letting your wife know this is what's going on because they want to help you. They don't want to just help you in our finances and everything. They want to help us in our mind because as men, we go through, and we do, regardless of the fact of what's going on, we are all biblically based. We're going into the end times where the world is twisted. And in order for us to continue and thrive in Christ in our life, we have got to follow what the Bible says, confessing our sins to one another. Baby, this is what's going on. This is why I did that. This is why I said that. This is how I feel. This is what's really going on. And I believe you can lead very, very healthy when you confess.
And can I say something?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that sin there is not always an infraction against God.
It's struggles,
it can be a
issues,
stressor.
problems. Yeah.
Yes, a worry, something that you've allowed, the small things, it's the small thing, the small foxes that destroy the vine. So it's like the small little festering things that you're thinking about, you're not saying, that you're worried about, that need to come out. And just to sum up 2021, this has been for us a confession season. Listen, we've gotten it all out on the table. So listen, if we're gonna be in the house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, looking at each other, I gotta tell you some things that I've been holding in. You know what? 2017, this happened, and we never really fully got to it. So let's talk about it now. Grab a glass of wine, and let's just sit here and hash this thing out. So because we're not taking this another step further. And so I just want to say that because some people get caught up on sin and unrighteousness, which is real and has its place in the kingdom walk. But I just wanted to say that also means those small things that can turn into a sin because you have not yet confessed it. So
these are teachable moments. I'm sorry.
Just two quick perspectives. I always say sin grows in the dark, right? And so when you illuminate with light, it immediately dispels darkness. And we talk about the 5 emotional shifts all the time, with couples that we counsel with, and being emotionally available, being emotionally honest, right? Being emotionally vulnerable, being emotionally responsive. Like, these shifts are real. And one of the things I've realized is the more we practice these emotional shifts, like, you watch the marriage flourish. But if you don't, I'm telling you, you'll stifle, and things will start pop off, and you don't even know where they coming from. But it's staying within, and it's growing within, and it explodes sometimes.
These are teachable moments too, because as you know, we said how long we've been married, but for you all that are coming along young, you know this too. None of us had books. Nobody tells you anything. Our parents didn't. It was like you married, you go for yourself, you know, but you do have to realize it's both ways. Women, we too have to express what's on our minds and talk that out as well. And the men are so used to being fixers, you know, they want to fix everything. They want to be the one that, you know, I got this or whatever. But we also have to communicate what's going on with us and don't hold it in and think that he's supposed to read our mind. You know, like I'm guilty of that and have been in the past. But growth and learning and
Oh,
you know
guilty.
what was in my head. but like I said, these are teachable moments and we're growing from it. We all can learn from it. I don't care if you're married 1 month or getting close to 80 years old or what. You can always learn something, and
Yeah.
your marriage grows from there, and you can help someone else as well.
Well, I hope with this conversation that somebody got something from this, because we're going to go ahead and move to the next question and get into the Christmas questions. Now, see, he wants to ask a question, y'all. He didn't read my mind real clearly. We was moving to the next question.
Let me help us get to the next question. But I heard the Thomases and I heard the Wilsons speak on their kids and their processing the 2020, 2021 pandemic type things. And I just want to know, how did you guys get your kids to buy in? I like the Wilsons saying their kids, they're young boys, which I know their attention spans are like this. The Thomases, like, you know, your eighth grade age range is younger. How did you guys go about, the Joneses too, how did you guys go about getting your kids to buy in to what's going on, to how we're gonna navigate, like you said, a vision board. I got a daughter here. That might be right up her alley. But my boys, pop, vision board, for real. I don't know what I want to do. I don't care. I'm gonna play my game, you know, type of deal.
Yeah.
My daughter, she's a visionary. She'll put that thing out there. How do you guys get your kids to kind of buy in?
You know, one of the things is creating voice and choice. I think that's huge when you're dealing with teenagers. And because we're educators, you know, we've been around kids for over 24 years of moving children along. And kids want voice and they want choice. And when you give voice and choice, you'll see kids flourish. Because, you know, it's easy to tell kids what to do. I think we grew up in a generation like that. But the fearful submission of the will produces the character of a rebel. The respectful submission of the will produces the character of obedience. And so I think it's always important to give kids voice and choice.
And we made it fun. Honestly, we turned it into a whole day activity.
And recorded them.
We made it fun, but I think what set the stage for them to understand the importance of vision is that they have been watching us do our own annual vision retreat for the last 4 or 5 years. So we start out the new year, Ovette and I, we go away. And maybe we just go away for a day or two. And we sequester ourselves in a hotel room and we spend the day talking about the vision and the deficits, talking about, you know, being vulnerable and kind of putting some stuff out there. And I come ready to the vision retreat, kind of already knowing some things we need to hash out.
There's 10 categories we go.
Yes, we have our categories, and confession is good for the soul. I remember one year we were talking about our budgets and this man found out how much I was spending on hair and nails that particular vision retreat, but it was therapeutic to kind of get it out there. So just you know, we've been doing that for the last 5 years. And so they've always seen us doing the vision retreat. So I imagine I probably set the stage of them knowing that this is something that we do. So the start of this year, we said, okay, well, we're going to do the vision retreat, but we're going to do it home edition. And we're going to do it family style. But I made a big deal of it with all the arts and crafts and, you know, made it very interactive and fun. And I think that was part of the buy-in, was it was a fun activity. And then we made them present it. We did formal presentations. We recorded it so that we could go back and reflect and review and that type of thing. But that, I think, is what worked. We just made it fun, a fun activity kind of thing for them, and it worked.
Anyone else?
Well, I was going to suggest we do Kwanzaa every year, and we're always looking for projects. So if you do that, Jason, I don't know if that's one of the things you do, but the family comes together and do just about everything when we do Kwanzaa. And we find now that we make little we do projects or have topics to talk about. And even though our brands are from 16 on down, but still they all like to participate because it's something like that. So I don't know if that would be a good suggestion.
He's saying that to give the information out to the world.
Okay.
Because
that's probably a good.
Mine is 33, 32, 31.
I got you. I got you. For those who
I got some grands that's coming along
at that age. And then, as they said with the vision board, we call ours our wishes, hopes, and dreams board. And as they happen, we move them to the next board of accomplishment. This was and we see it working, you know, and we talk about it too as well. So that's a good idea for have them to see that, hey, this happened. Let's move it to the accomplished board, you know.
When you have those down moments and things aren't going the way you think they should, you go back and look at the accomplishment board and you're like, wow, look what we've accomplished, look what we've done. And it just gives energy to move forward.
Anyone else want to speak on that? How y'all did it? Okay, so we're gonna move into the real meaning of Christmas, the Christmas spirit. You all can start out one by one, couple by couple, telling us what does Christmas mean to you all in your home?
Go ahead, Coach Jones, you got it?
Yes, I'm muted.
Christmas to us, it means family time. Also, we talk about Christ a lot in our home. And we know that this is Christ's birthday. We know that this is family time. We also believe in giving, not just receiving. We believe in giving, believe in blessing others. And I love the fact that one of the things that we did so early, and we've been married 9 years, we're a blended family. We sowed giving from the beginning, right? There's other things that, you know, we didn't see yet, but we sowed giving. And our kids are givers. They'll give you the sweat off their back. Their sweat off their back. They really will give to their friends. My kids even counsel their friends. Like they'll say they're not listening to us, and they're not listening to them on the phone. They're always counseling their other friends. They give to their other friends. My daughter, I think I went to church, gave her time without being asked, without being, you know, do you know the reason why you tithe and everything? No, they understand the giving part, which is really a blessing to me. That's one of the things about Christmas is giving. If we get extra on something, let's say we get an extra blessing, financial blessing, my kids really want to give. They really want to give. We have the household where if their friends are like going through like a stressful thing, they bring their friends over to us. So that's one of the things that really matters to us. The Christmas holiday is togetherness, Christmas movies, and giving. My kids love to give.
I don't have anything to add. He said that they are like that, and we created that early on. It was important to me, and then it became important to us. But it was important to me that we had our own traditions, and so we also, and you didn't mention this, but we also give to people in need, and not just to organizations. So I know people give to the Red Cross annually, and some people give to, local charities, corporately. But we actually find people that have a need and give to them in real time, because we were in need in our marriage, and we know firsthand what it's like to get that blessing immediately. So there's a space and a place when it comes to giving to go through organizations and channels, and I would never take away from those that option. But finding people in your community, in your 5-mile radius that need, and allowing your children to be involved and pack a bag, be involved and bake the cake, be involved and take the plate to the door, be involved and be there while you're praying for someone else. Those things last longer than Nintendo Switches and all those other things that they want, that they may still get, but that memory, you're sowing that, you're seeding that into their future, and they're going to carry that on. So it was very important early on, and that's just one thing that we kind of still hold on to, no matter what. We are looking forward to giving this week.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's awesome.
The same thing. We we think alike so much now, but anyway, it's family, but I also want to remind everybody to spend quality time with each other too during the holidays. Make sure that you have that we time and that me time. You're gonna need both of those. But what Mr. Jones said, we were just talking about the other day, is making sure everyone understood that the meaning is also to give. And we see that our grands are even seeing that in us, because we have one that's around us all the time. And her idea is she says, I don't want anything for Christmas, but I want to give to those who don't have. And she does that with all types of things. When the hurricane came, she started a drive for clothes and things like that for those who were less fortunate during the storm. She did a Thanksgiving drive basket and collected from her classmates the grocery cards, the gift cards from the grocery store. Now she's doing the same thing for Christmas. So you do, just like you said, what I believe it was the Wilsons too, whatever their kids see them doing, your grands even will follow suit. You set the tone, just like Minister Thomas said. You set that tone, and they will follow. The grandkids even following.
And I just wanted to add that as far as traditions, this season is a great time to establish tradition. We adopted Kwanzaa, and that gives us, everyone, all of our kids and grandkids, look forward to that time, because it's a time of sharing. Everything just shuts down, all the Christmas gifts and hoopla is behind us, and we just have that time to talk about what was accomplished in the past year and what we're looking to do in the future, as well as talk about our ancestors. It's so important to share and talk about family, especially those who have gone on. And 2020, 2021 has taught us that, is that, they may not be with us, but we still have to call their names and talk about the good that was done, so they'll be able to take it forward with their kids.
You make a great point. I was speaking to my dad this week, and he was reminding me of something my grandma would tell him. And I was like, man, my grandma's been passed for a while now, but her counsel and her wisdom still speaks. you know, and we think we don't have grandkids, you know, we have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old, but I could just imagine the construct of having grandchildren, you know, and the rituals and ceremonies that we will put in place. You know, we have things now in our family that we do as just a year, and not just Christmas. I'm talking about we celebrate. We try to find every month to find something to be grateful for, because I'm telling you, it keeps us looking for that next thing. Like, we know what's coming in January, we know what we're doing in February, we know what we're doing in March. My birthday is in April. I'm talking about the whole year, because it just keeps you going, you know. And it's so important, you know, in the family and in marriage for kids to see, you know, traditions and rituals. Because guess what? Our boys are growing up and they're going to have families. They're going to start their wheel, right? Just like we had our wheel. And the health comes from the best gift we could give them is a healthy marriage. So I think that's critical. And I'm looking forward to the days where I get some grandkids.
Well, you know, the time is spent with the grandkids, but also with our kids, because we do picture boards. We got pictures of all the grandparents and whatever.
Great grands.
So it gives them an opportunity to see who the great grands and grands were and be able to relate as we talk about it. It's and you got to hear it over and over again, because you forget. Our kids are older kids, but hearing it, they'll be able to take it forward, I believe, in sharing, you know, the tradition going. And we try to make it as fun as possible. I know people have a lot of different feelings about Kwanzaa, so we definitely try to make it fun and entertaining for everyone to participate.
Well, I'll just piggyback off of everybody. Of course, you know, like you all said, it's time where we come together as family. And with us, our kids range from 14, 6, 5, and 2. So we get together, of course, bake cookies, just do, you know, fun things and tell them the real meaning for Christmas, which is, you know, Christ being born. And we just spend time, enjoy, we're grateful. Sit down, talk, we listen to them. It's so important. And I've had to learn that even the little ones, to let them speak out, you know, to let them talk and say what they're thankful for, and just, you know, just come together and talk about love and just enjoy, you know, each other. That's what we do at Christmas.
About some of it. I don't want to talk, y'all. God, last time I talked this when I was talking to them. But I mean,
Get it out, Pastor. Get it out.
but you know, I would say, you know, like from the baby all the way up, and you know, we've done a lot of moving that, you know, stuff that you wanted to do, you know, you really couldn't do because of the time that you was moving in or what have you. But one thing that they definitely look forward to is spending time with, you know, grandmama, you know, grandmama, granddaddy. So they put that, they look forward to that, you know. Even our oldest one, I mean, she's 14, but when it comes out of grandma, she's about 5 or 6, you know. So she, you know, she looks towards that. The boys do, you know, even my little one. But when, like I said, when it comes to the holidays, you know, we're looking at, you know, where we were last year into this day, you know, to this time, you know, how have we progressed? You know, it's almost like a timeline. You're looking at, you know, are you in the same place? I mean, if you're in the same place, then you need to work on some things. You know, you need to get ahead. You're always trying to, you know, we said the mindset that, you know, we always want to be ahead and not move backwards, you know. But that's really, it's mainly, not only is it just about love and honoring one another and giving and sowing, you know, like my man said, you know, it's not all about receiving, but it's 'tis the season to give, you know. So as you're giving, you know, making sure that the motive that you have for giving is true and pure. So I mean,
if I can jump in, when we think of giving, most times, it's gifts, but even giving those things that's gonna last, like encouragement, giving somebody hope, that's giving as well. Now, it may not always be a monetary gift or, something like that, but just speaking life, into somebody else is still giving. And that's what we try to do with our children. We speak life into them so they can go and speak life, into their friends or their peers or whoever they're around. And they see us do it. They see us live. Our kids are quick to pray. When I tell you, and that's because that's what they see. The 2-year-old, if he say his head is hurt, she's coming and she's laying hands on him and she's gonna pray, because that's what they know. That's what they see. So like I said, giving, also comes in, giving affirmation or encouragement or hope or, whatever it is that you can give to help build somebody up.
Giving your time, if you can go and spend a few minutes with a senior citizen.
That's good.
This is a lonely period for a lot of schools.
Mhm.
So if you could just go and share a few minutes, it just makes their day,
Or make a phone call rather than text.
Mhm.
Up the phone.
That's good.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna move it to another question that may be funny, or you'd be like, okay. So
Here she comes, Rhonda.
it's like a 2-part question. Like, what is your favorite food for Christmas? Who cooks it? And what do you want your spouse to cook on Christmas?
I like everything on Christmas. And he likes to cook. So I think he thinks after so many years I've been doing it, he's taken over the last maybe 5-6 years, and I'm enjoying it. I sit back and let him cook all the time. But I don't know, I like some everything on Christmas.
What's your number one? I know we all like everything. We
Number
all
one.
sit to the
What do
table
I
and eat everything.
Give me some greens on Christmas, collard greens. I don't eat them often. So you gotta have that.
You would agree.
I'm in a fight of trying to control my weight. I do anything for a piece of fried chicken. You know what I'm saying?
You anything but the
all
fried
year
chicken?
long. It's not healthy. So if I can get a piece of fried chicken, I'm good.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna sneak you a piece. I'm gonna tell nobody. I'm gonna bring you a nice fat breast.
I don't have a problem cooking it. Without getting that side eye.
You bring your drumstick, right, Miss Norwood?
You're gonna do it right, baby. You're gonna do it right.
Okay.
Let me say it this way: if I can get a piece of fried chicken and eat it in a piece without a comment, I'm good.
I ain't focusing on that.
All right, the Thomas.
What's your food?
I don't know if I have a favorite food for Christmas. I really don't. Now, had you said Thanksgiving, I would have said dressing. But Christmas.
But we eat Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Mine, I would say party food, like some cocktail smokies. The barbecue sauce. Oh my God. Them things.
Cocktails.
Wow.
Wait, that is. I didn't know I said,
Man, you talking about Rotel dip? You talking about meatballs? See the thing about it? Well, she said favorite food. Well, favorite food, but what you want to eat. So
Okay, party food.
Hey, make the menu.
hey, I'm mapping it out, dog. But her pasta salad is amazing. That's what I want. Pasta salad.
What's in the pasta salad, Cherie?
What's in the pasta salad? Shredded cheese, turkey, Italian dressing,
Cucumbers.
I think that's it.
She put bacon bits in it, but
Oh,
she
yeah.
probably won't do no bacon next time.
Well, yeah, they
You
don't
do-
have it. I just won't eat it. Yeah.
See, she you know, she don't eat flesh.
No,
She
I
eat
do.
flesh.
I do. I eat fish and shrimp, but I just haven't been eating other meats. But yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, Jones, y'all ready?
Yes, we're just sitting here talking like we kind of put more emphasis on Thanksgiving food than Christmas food.
No.
However, pasta salad, listen, that's our key word in the Jones family. I didn't make pasta salad this Thanksgiving and it was an issue. I didn't think you guys were paying attention. And so I didn't make it.
Yeah.
And it was a problem. Everybody was like, well, where's the pasta salad? And so my pasta salad is my mother-in-law's pasta salad recipe,
Yeah.
which is like, see how excited he is? Yeah.
Sound like you looking forward to
Something he
it.
grew up on.
Yeah.
It's a tuna-based pasta salad,
Yeah.
but it's good. It's really, really good. And so that's something that everybody looks forward to. And I'm making Thanksgiving and Christmas.
And air fried jerk wings.
Yeah, and air fried jerk wings. Now we've been
Air-fried
doing jerk wings every year since we got married, right?
9 years.
Yeah, 9 years we
Yeah.
do jerk wings because he likes jerk. His family's partially West Indian, and so
Ayot.
and so it was just like, okay, we'll do something new. So jerk wings, pasta salad.
Jerk wings, pasta salad. I mean, something that's special, right? Yeah, jerk wings, pasta salad. That's special. Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That's it.
But which one's your favorite?
For now, overall, or for Christmas?
Christmas.
I would prefer some pasta salad for Christmas. If I'm gonna have some fun, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
I
some
gotta
fun
make
with
up for
pasta
Thanksgiving.
salad,
Y'all see
yeah.
he's smiling. I gotta make
I'm gonna
up.
have fun, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
she
Get
gonna
it
make
ready.
two
Open
bowls
the
of pasta
stuff this
salad.
week.
Hey, 2 bowls,
I
I
will.
know he look like he ready. What you got, Mr. Wilson?
I'm kind of like the Joneses. We do a big emphasis on Thanksgiving, but Christmas is kind of like some good food.
Oxtail.
We've been talking, actually, this is an interesting question because we've been talking about what we're going to eat on Christmas for like 3 weeks now. It's like the running conversation, and we just have not landed on anything, but we actually went out to eat for Christmas the first time last year, and we kind of liked
We
it.
actually really did.
We were like, oh, okay.
Now we
So-
have a New Year's tradition. The day before New Year's, we always go to Maggiano's as a family. But you know, you just kind of
Christmas is just chill. It's
chill.
just kind of chill. And
kids want to just go play with their stuff, come down and get something and slide back out. You know how it is. So it's our time.
See, that's funny because
They're in
like,
the window right now where they're like,
yeah,
you know, and I'm like, okay, it's great time.
yeah. My family Christmas dinner is a big deal.
Mhm.
My mom makes sure she let you know either going to do Christmas Day or she's gonna do Christmas Eve, depending on what we got going on. But man, Christmas dinner, wow, man, you talking about a spread. I mean, Thanksgiving is one thing, but them cakes coming across the table at Christmas dinner, my mom made her fat. I don't know about that, but them cakes coming, I mean, and my wife will tell you, my go-to for Christmas and Thanksgiving is giblet gravy. My mom makes a giblet gravy. Oh man, she'll fix my plate.
You could taste it now.
Oh man, she fixed my plate, right? And I pour the gravy over everything on the plate. Everything. Like, are you serious? They're like, don't mess with my baby gravy. You know that's his gravy. Don't mess with it. I pour it over everything. I mean, it's like, really, you gonna pour it on everything?
Everything?
That's like that yum yum sauce. You know that yum yum sauce?
There it is. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Christmas, man. My mom, that's one of her biggest, like you was talking about traditions and things. That was just one of her biggest things. Christmas is her year. Christmas is her time of year. Even around here, you know, my wife like, yeah, but hey man, listen, it's Christmas time. I just went and bought the tree today. My babies are like, Dad, we ain't got our tree yet.
And I wanted a tree like this.
You know,
Oh, no.
we get a live tree every year. That's been a tradition in my household. And my kids now, they like, we can't get no fake tree. We got to get the real deal. We want the biggest tree in the lot.
But Turners, I think this is a very important perspective, right? We become what we behold, right? The Bible says, by beholding, we become changed into the same image, right? From glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord.
Mhm.
So it's the same thing with even with our children. They and even with us, because you got two sets of experiences that are different, right? And we've come together in union and we get to make our will, right? Not saying that what was done in the past has to be, but we get to be creative. And I think that's one of the, the messages to couples like, yo, you get to come and kind of put yourselves together and create your own narrative and story. And, in respect, honoring that which is of the past, but creating that which is new. And I think that's worthy of a comment because, yeah, you're bringing your flavor into the marriage and Rhonda doing her thing too. It's beautiful to see.
Hey, Rhonda thing is she wanted to go to Mama's house and get the cake. She was like, Mama Turner, what you? And my mom got her spoiled because she makes her own red velvet cake. And it's like, well, my cake. Every Christmas, well, my cake. I don't think my mom got to buy her anything but a cake. And she ride out to the sunset. But it is interesting because it's that time when I hear you guys talk about history and you talk about getting to know who is who and what's what. Well, when we get together, you have those conversations. I tell people all the time, old people are my favorite kind of people. Because they have so much information. It's like they just stored books of, oh man, I could sit and talk to my grandfather for hours. He would tell me stories and I'd be amazed. I'd be like, my mouth would be wide open like, Grant, you went through that for real? This happened for real. And I tell young people, you miss out when you don't talk to your elders. You miss out when you don't get that information. You miss out because they know things that those books don't have in them. Yeah. Now we're more educated now, but my grandfather didn't have no education. He was born on a farm, sharecropper, slave parents. Even my parents. My dad was born in 1934. Talking about times when there was no I-95, there was no, he called it 410. You always know what a 410 is, but that was Federal Highway. You took Federal Highway from New York to Florida. Who would drive Federal Highway from New York to Florida? But that's how they travel, and the seasons. I'm like, man, that's history. It's amazing because sometimes I think we let it get away.
And get lost.
And that's tragic to me because it really put me in a perspective of, like you say, you watch how your kids react to what you do. And I watch my kids and because I work, and how I work, my kids saw that, and they be like, the dad in the bed at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, that first thing, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong?
What's the problem? You ain't at work, So it's just interesting to hear you guys' perspective on history and how that works into it, even with the Christmas dinner. It's interesting to me.
Did everybody answer that question? I think everybody answered that question. So don't y'all look at me strange with this next question. But what do you want for Christmas?
I looked in the air like,
oh,
really?
What desire for Christmas?
It doesn't have to be a material thing.
I always struggle with that because I never really want gifts. My thing is just, if my family is here, my children, and we call our children in marriage our children too. They're our children. So when you hear me speak of children, I'm talking about our kids and their spouses. And if we all can just be together and the grandkids and other families, that means the most to me. That's my gift. And then to see them be so happy. Just look at, as I tell him all the time when we have our little sessions and we say, what was your joy today? And I'll say, when the kids were walking to school, we brought our grandkids to school, and I said they were holding the two sisters holding hand going down the hall. I said, that was joy to me. So that's just me. That's
Awesome. Same for you, Mr. Norwood.
Well, I'm too old to want anything, as far as gifts. So this is the time spent with the family. That's precious. Because new memories gonna come out of it. And what I have learned though is that where we take a lot of pictures with our phones, I start getting them printed. They actually have that physical touch, that memory that we can, because oftentimes you take the picture and you can't find it when you want to show it. So but to have that print, to be able to look back, you just can't have better times than that. That's what I look forward to. Time spent with the family.
Okay. So who want to go next?
We'll go. I, of course, the same as Miss Norwood. I just want to, spend time with the family and reflect back to, seeing them grow up and looking at where they were last year to where they are now, and just enjoying, each other. That's it for me.
I could about basically the same thing. I mean, just to be able to, for me, I don't nothing, material, just for, like saying, to be around, to be able to fellowship, be around my family, my mom, my dad, my grandmother. I mean, just to be able to cherish those moments with them, because you don't know how long you have on this earth, so you want to just make sure you capture the moment.
Yes.
Because the moment will last, and the moment is more valuable than any gift. Mm-hmm. So just as long as you can set that, have that time, have that opportunity to make memories, they'll last long past any materialistic item.
Yeah. Now, I think my
now, bro, you want some? Hey, you get it. Hey.
I think for me, what does it for me is the unexpected. It's not even because when my kids give me stuff, like I have the section in my bathroom where all the little things they've given me, like I put it up, man, like they're meaningful, and like they think that, like, I don't know what they think, but to me, it's the world to me. And so for me, like whatever I get as a gift, it communicates to me that someone has thought about me in particular. So I could care less what, because I got money to buy stuff that I want, right? So I put that to the side. But you thought of something that you wanted to present to me. So I always take it in, you take it in high value and respect, whatever it is. So at least that's how I approach receiving something.
I think that's good because it makes it intimate. It's an intimacy that's actually exchanged, because like you said, you wasn't expecting it, but the mere fact that you thought enough of me to take out of your time and then make it happen says a lot, and it means a lot. So yeah.
And we're in the Christmas spirit. So the Bible says God gave his son. He ain't lend him to humanity. And I ain't trying to get into a Bible study, but God gave him to humanity. Yeah. So it was a gift, right? And it's just like any gift, you receive or you reject. So I just choose the attitude of whatever I get, I just appreciate,
I have to share this. Last year, Sherilyn felt so strong about the spirit of love during the Christmas season. She wanted to carry it on, right? Past December. So it started out to be January, then it went to February. It went right up until October. That we celebrated Christmas on the 25th. She got something from me.
But it was things like he'd give me pictures of the grandkids, things like that, or he'd have the room decorated. Those were the kind of gifts with lights, or the backyard would be decorated.
I'm taking notes.
Or we'd have, or he'd set up a special dinner or something like that.
I'm taking notes.
And it, to me, because I told him, I said, everybody's so happy and loving during Christmas, and then when it's over, people go back to their own ways. I said, I wish we could have Christmas whole year. He was listening.
Listening.
I didn't mean for him to do
Are you
that.
listening?
Yes, sir.
And, you know, and listening, those times when you know she's tired and wasn't feeling her best, and she'll say, you know, I'm really tired. I'll run back to the room and turn back to bed and then give her that massage at the end of the evening.
Oh,
That was a Christmas gift.
That was a Christmas
That was the
gift.
way he did
Yeah,
it.
that was a Christmas.
Mr. Millwall, stop showing out. Stop showing out. You gotta show out. Come on.
show out, Mr. Norwood.
It's growth. It's
Out.
growth. And you're
Hey,
right. It's growth.
It took me 50 some odd years, Jason, to get this.
Telling y'all
I'm
now.
trying to share.
You are trying to help someone else, right, Mr. Norwood? You trying to help someone else.
Yeah, yeah.
Are y'all
yeah.
listening out there?
It ain't about the money, that's for sure.
So, Ms. Wilson, we're at you now. Are you feeling the same as Mr. Wilson?
I know the question is like, what do you want for Christmas? And so I've been thinking about it, and I think I just get a high. What I look forward to on Christmas is the joy. Like that is what just gives me the ultimate high. It's just the joy of togetherness, the excitement, the kids, you know, opening their presents. I don't know, it just fills me with joy. And it's not even about what I'm gonna get, it's just seeing them so filled with joy. And we actually have a tradition that we started year one of our oldest son, his first Christmas. And it was a little bold and a different approach, but our kids only get 3 gifts for Christmas. And we wrap, you know, the 3 wise men and the story of the birth of Jesus into that. And I thought it was very bold when I suggested to Obed, our son's first Christmas, why don't we try this? And I don't know if I was afraid of getting into this cycle of consumption, you know, at Christmas, it can kind of ease. And I'm like, if we just don't do it now, this will be all they ever know. So, and that's all they know. Now they'll give us the list.
Now their list now is different.
Now their lists are looking different now that they're older. There's different kind of lists
So
now.
3 come in handy now.
$1,000 for one gift.
It's a little different, but they don't know what they're gonna get, and so it's just really fun to see them light up with joy. And we've been pretty consistent with that every year, and every year that's my gift. That's what I live for. It's just the excitement and the joy. So
Awesome. The Jones is the Jones.
I just want to say I look forward to the fun.
Yes.
Everybody has off. You had off the night before, that you get a chance to wake up. It's fun. That's like the most important part to me during the holidays. It's fun. It's a time where a person has got to get fun in their spirit. Self-control, but fun. You got to be joyous. The joy and the fun is what I look forward to definitely on Christmas.
You know, I agree with Mrs. Wilson that it's like the buildup, like I look forward to the buildup of Christmas. So what I want for Christmas is a memory, but we're building memories from, and on our house, holidays start November 1st. So we're building all of that. Like I decorate my mantle November 1st. We have the pumpkins, we have the cornucopias, and we just start adding stuff.
Yeah.
Just adding snow angels, adding snowmen, you know, and so the whole buildup is what I look forward to and what I want every year is for the kids to get into the Christmas spirit, the giving spirit, the festive spirit. We're really big on Christmas movies in our house. And so I look forward to sitting on the couch and watching A Wonderful Life with Daryl, because that is a must. We have not good English, but we have never not watched that movie in 9 years. We watch it every year. The kids have to watch it.
Wow.
And here I said have to, right? So everyone has their hot chocolate and their candy canes and their little party snacks, and we're watching the movie. But you know, to answer the question, Rhonda, I'm looking forward to every year. What I want is a good memory, something that the kids are going to remember. And while everyone was talking, I was thinking about how my grandmother would measure us every year with a Sharpie and write our names next to it. And I had 34 cousins, and all the cousins had a line, and we'd all sit up there. And, you know, I can go to my grandmother's house in Kansas City right now, and those lines with my name on it are still there. Piangela at 12 is how tall you were. Piangela at 7 is how tall you were. And so those are memories, things that I will never forget. They're heartwarming to me, etc. And so I just wanted to share really quick that this year we opted out of a lot of gifts because we have 6 children. And so gift giving is always like a thing, right? But we've opted out of that this year, and we're taking a Christmas trip.
Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward to, and what I really want is for them to really appreciate that we've opted out of the big gift giving thing. And we
took a trip.
Yeah. And we want them to
Are you coming to Florida?
We're not.
We're going to South Carolina.
We're going to Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh,
Yes, that's right. Yes, I heard somebody say Columbia. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to be in Columbia for 5 days. And I was just really looking forward to it. We booked a hotel, and then we have some friends that we're going to be staying with for a few days too. And it's my goal to get down to Myrtle Beach. Listen, we've been to South Carolina a dozen times. I have not made it to Myrtle Beach. So as long as it's not raining, y'all pray now. I'm going to get to Myrtle Beach. Even if it's cold, I don't care. I just want to walk. I want to walk on the shore, and that's what I want to do. So that's what I want for this.
Awesome. Well, we have about 5 minutes. We can go over a little bit, but the last question of the night is, what message can you give to other married couples about the Christmas spirit, Christmas holiday? And this is to the married couples. What message can you give to them?
As I said before, make sure you spend quality time together. Be patient with one another too. And just enjoy, be in the moment. And we even talked about doing things out of the box, like the Joneses are going to do. I even said to Mike, we should do something at least one time different. Let's not do the traditional. Let's just do something one time different. So even if you do that, think outside the box and just enjoy each other, your family, but also just trying to think of something different, because as one of you said, and I believe it was Pastor, tomorrow's not promised to anybody, and you might not have your significant other with you or your spouse, and you going, I wish I could have, should have, would have.
I doing something different was putting up 6 Christmas trees this year. So that's gonna be wonderful.
You went a little overboard this year, but it's okay.
She let me do it.
Yeah.
But that was the result of staying home all year and watching Hallmark.
it rubbed off on you.
Okay, Thomas, this is your message.
So I guess my message would be, again, like Ms. Nora would say, don't forget your significant other. Don't forget your spouse. And that's actually something that God is speaking to me right now as we're in this session, because a lot of times we focus on the kids and, getting to see them enjoy, their things or what have you, but definitely setting some time aside to, to just spend that personal time, that quality time, with your mate and be grateful. Not is because it's not about what you, always what you have, or, don't reflect on what you don't have, but just the fact that you have each other that's priceless. It's priceless. So that's what I would say.
Okay, Joneses.
Most important, holla date. Holla date. One thing, for 9 years, man, me and my wife, we make a date out of anything. When we wrap these gifts tomorrow, we're gonna make a date out of it. What we doing right now, talking to y'all, we're making a date out of it. We just make a date out of everything that we do. If we watch a sermon together or the Bible, I make a date out of it. Just find times married couples need to know everything should be a date. If it's a vision board, make it into a date. If you cook your dinner together, make it into a date. If you on the balcony just talking, I'll look my wife and say, I got something to tell you. I say, hold that thought. Hold it. Let me set this up. Let me set this up.
He does it.
I'll grab some wine. If you don't drink wine, that's you. I'll grab some wine. I'll get a glass, a special color.
Candles and just set the mood like.
Now
3
tell me what
minutes.
you was gonna tell me.
Now go
It
ahead.
could be bad news.
That's
Hold
very
that thought right
creative. Very
That's
creative. I
good.
love it.
That
I
is
make that into a date. Everything is a
He
date.
said it could be a bad news. Hold that thought.
Make it positive. That's
I'm gonna receive this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I concur.
Who say married couples can't have fun?
Right.
I just put that one in my book.
Yep, I was thinking he's gonna be doing that. We'll say, wait a minute, let me go get the candles.
Okay, Wilson, your message.
I was actually gonna echo what Mr. Jones said about dating, and my advice was actually exactly what he said, to never stop dating, but I'll add, the romance is really important, and just taking those opportunities to keep the fire going.
Romance is the self-initiated pursuit of another. The self-initiated pursuit. If she's asking for roses, it ain't romantic.
Ain't romance. Mm-mm.
So it has to be the self-initiated pursuit.
Okay. I just needed you to say that again so I could catch that.
That's tweetable. I'm tweeting it
He's
down.
tweeting it now. Listen, make sure you quote him now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey,
Hashtag Team Wilson. Is that cool?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think I have a message for those people out there. It's the holiday season. I say cherish them. Cherish the time. Cherish the ones you love. Because if nothing else we've learned in these last 2 years is that it's not promised. You look over your calendar, you look through, I was just looking through my phone earlier and I'm looking at all these names and these people aren't even here anymore. And, because we don't purge our phones and things, you look through and you see names, you be like, wow, I still have their number here. And, a lot of them wasn't expected. So as I reflect over, for me, like I said, Christmas is my year, it's my time of year. Growing up, it was just for me. And I enjoy it. I enjoy everything about the season. I enjoy everything about the time. I enjoy my children. So I enjoy my wife. I enjoy everything about it. So I would tell people to cherish the time. Cherish Christmas, cherish those times. Reflect on your memories, and just don't take it for granted. Don't look around and say, next year. Because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
It's not promised to anybody. And that's young and old. You know, we used to think there was just older people. Now it's young and old. So that's my message to all men people out there. There's the time.
So Facebook friends and family, I'm gonna go back over all of them as well, all the couples that we have on. I think many of you all are doing some positive things in your area, in your community. We want you to just give us 30 seconds and talk about what you're doing, what you have coming up. And we will, and I want to just say, make sure you all know that I just call Mr. Thomas pastor, but he's on his way there. But that's my running joke. What's happened to the Northwoods? That's my running joke for him right now. I just call him pastor because I know that they did move to South Carolina, and that they are really ministering and where they're at right now. And I'm so proud of them. So that was just my running joke as pastor. But any one of you all can start and tell them what you're doing and some of the positive things you're doing in your community to make a difference.
I mean, we'll start off, you know, we have mymarriagementors.com, where we help couples just navigate relationships. And we're always promoting the 10 Laws of Winning. It's our book that we wrote, released it last year, 10lawsofwinning.com. So we're always pouring in, you know, trying to give back and to elevate the next generation and to help others. We feel that there's great purpose for us in those lanes.
Anyone else?
We haven't left these kids on the side of the road and left. That's very important. We haven't left these kids on the side of the road. I don't got children, I got kids.
Listen,
Real kids. No, but we
they're
also-
19, 16, 14, 12, 10, and 5. Y'all not praying hard enough. I'm telling y'all now, y'all ain't praying hard enough. They're not.
We ain't leave them, y'all. We ain't leave them. We still with them. We still take care of them. We still pray over them, for them. I mean, we really still, it's been a rough 2021 in terms of that department because we done got down to some, we done really examined a lot this year. But
Yes.
we have a marriage coaching business, the Morning Dew. We also have a marriage event business that we do. Shout out to the Turners that came to our event, Falling Back in Love. And we have a mobile mimosa bar. It's not alcoholic or alcoholic champagne if you want, but it's a mobile mimosa bar because we believe in drinking wine with the gladness of the heart, with that wife that you enjoy, what Solomon had said in Ecclesiastics. And we believe in, like, marriage couples. Married people need to bring back the fun in their marriage. Business is important, ministry is very, very important, but fun and enjoyment in the marriage is very important. That's what that's our goal. That's our goal, man.
That's what we provide, and that's what we hope to pull to the surface through the Morning Dew. So you can go to themorningdew.org.
We had to go to our cell phone, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. And find out more about what we do and how we do it. You'll see all of the kids on the website and just hear more about, you know, the people that we've helped. We also administer premarital counseling and we marry people. And so for those people that are interested in non-traditional marriage ceremonies where two people marry you as a couple, it is an awesome experience that we provide. So that's something cool that we do as well.
Awesome. Oh yeah, I received my mimosas yesterday. The Thomas?
Well, we're actually, like you said, in a new area getting settled in, but God is definitely working on. So we have some things in place that hadn't come forth yet, but God is working. So we're looking forward and just excited about getting established where we are.
Yeah.
I guess the Norwoods, Do you all have any special things coming up that you're doing? You're on mute.
Okay, I unmuted. So you said for the holidays, you mean?
Any special things that you're doing with married couples in your community or anything?
Nothing with married couples. Just right now coming up is just the family things, as we said, and we've been sometime taking impromptu trips to go visit others and or family, and then we, as we say, we do Kwanzaa. So we've just been doing a lot of impromptu date time or spontaneous stuff, that type of thing. I don't know if you have anything to add.
Yeah, we good.
Awesome. Well, the Turners have our marriage conference, which will be October the 7th through the 9th. Some of you all will be,
Everybody on the screen there.
yes, and you probably will be taking care of one of the rooms speaking. So just be ready, because I trust you. I trust you to go out and speak to other married couples. And it's needed, because they need to know that marriage is a good thing, and it's what you make it.
Mhm.
A lot of people be like, "Oh, well, I'm running from this and I'm running from that," and why? Because you don't want to work at it. You have to work at it. You have to work at work. So why would you want to work at your marriage? So we want to really make this work October the 7th through the 9th. It's going to be powerful. We have one of our main speakers was probably going to be the Greens, which I met through the Joneses, and they are so amazing. But I also will have breakout sessions where I probably would love for you all to be the ones that teach in different rooms for me, and we'll give you more information about that.
Available.
Yes. So just mark your calendars. I like to plan. I can tell you one thing about my sister P. Angela. I know I take time and I go out, I push out 7-8 months. But I'm gonna tell you, my P. Angela, she do not play the radio. She will do it, and she like, hey, let's do it. And it's happening. So I'm sure that she will have some other stuff coming up soon, because I know her. But I just encourage you to set your calendar. Some of you all got, I think most of you all got the invite for Vegas, but we'll talk about that at another time. But just really mark your calendars for October the 7th through the 9th.
That's going to be a wonderful event. We're also trying to get our marriage soiree back up and running.
Mhm.
I think the Piangelas are one of our ambassadors.
Will
and
Thomas.
All the Thomases are too. We're trying to get that back in swing, in full swing. Just trying to get back celebrating marriage, especially within our communities. Like I always say, you guys have talked to me before, we have to continue to celebrate marriage. We have to continue to allow people to know that marriage is ordained, and it's a wonderful, great thing. Don't believe all the horror stories, because marriage is not always a horror story. It's a story that's being told by two people, and if it's told the right way, it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. So we're trying to get that back up and running. And like I say, the marriage, that event in October we want it to be powerful. We want it to be something that's transformative. We want couples to really go back home and be like, wow, what did we just go through? and really go back. I mean, some of the things you guys talked about tonight on here was really transformative just tonight. So I can imagine if we can get you guys on a weekend where you got the floor and you can say, okay, boy, I got you now. I can let Pete, Pastor Thomas have the floor. You know, dig into some of y'all real tough. Or I can let T. Wilson tag team y'all from the left and the right. Y'all ain't seen nothing. Y'all think y'all see them now? Man, when they on, they are on. I mean, you know, they just showing off a little bit tonight, but them two up there in that left corner in that red back, they tough. They tough. And my wife talked about Piangela and Daryl. Oh my goodness, to my energy. To my, I mean, just pure energy. That's going to ignite the room. That's going to really get you energized and charged. And last but not least, like my wife said, the greens. They're different. And everything they do, and with the passion, you can tell they work on this thing. As you can tell from everything that they do, this isn't a fly-by-night thing that they do, and we'll all get something from it. Yeah, we may be there to educate and teach, but guess what, man? My wife needs to be charged up too. My old pastor said I need to be preached to sometimes too. So guess what? I need to sit in the audience every now and then and get a little something myself. And so I'm looking forward to that as well. So, you know, those out there in the Facebook world and anyone you guys know that you think can use something like this, put it out there. We're big on that. Put it out there, like the Wilsons, the books, they have shirts. I don't know why he didn't talk about the shirts. You know, he holding out. I don't know what he holding out on. They got some other things that's going on. Like I said, Miss Angela, Miss Piangela and Daryl, you know, they're doing wonderful things. So that's what we're here for. You know, that's what we're here for.
And we have to do this together, because when we all try to do it separate, you know, we can touch more together.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So we gonna do it. We gonna do it. So
I might get tired of hearing us pull on your coattail. You know, we need you. We need you. We need you. And yeah, we don't have the finances yet, but they're coming. But we need you, because that's how the marriage community is going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's going to grow. Amen. From the Norwoods giving us that
50 years experience.
that experience to just bring it on back. Because I laugh because they're 50 years married, and we took my parents to dinner tonight, and I'm the baby, and I'm 50. I'm the baby, and I'm 50. So you imagine how long they've been married. You know, I got a sister that's retired 64, 65. I got a brother that's 64, 65. So I mean,
wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, you know, so
yes.
I mean, it's a wonderful thing.
But I'm gonna say to the Norwoods, you've been married that long, for 50 years, but you seem like you've been married, like your marriage is like
fresh.
So fresh. Right. And that's amazing. And that's why I enjoy you coming on, because, you know, sometimes these younger marriages feel like, okay, they get at 5 years and they be like, I'm ready to go. I can't do this or whatever. But look at somebody that's been married 50 years. And I'm still grateful that I'm at 24 years, coming up on 24 years. You know, that is, and then I think back and I'm like, oh, I'm 24 years in, you know, but some of these people, like, I'm ready to go. I can't handle it. I can't deal with it. But I need them to understand that, you know, you running from marriage, but you still have other issues that's out there in the world. You're not running from them. You're accepting all those. So we have to make sure people understand the difference, and they have to work at anything they do.
Exactly.
You know, God has been so good that he has given us longevity in life with time together. We have to share. You know, this is our opportunity to share, and hopefully they can see the God in us, the love that he has given us to be able to share with others. So, you know, it's our pleasure, and we're so grateful.
Yeah,
you know, we're blessed.
And that he's also given us the means to know how to handle these things together. You not, you know, like Jason said, walk away from it. You're going to have your trials, your tribulations, your storms, but you handle it together and work through it.
And y'all look at that now. I'm gonna say something. I don't know if it's true, but I'm gonna say it, and then we finna go. Is Miss Norwood sitting on Mr. Norwood lap?
Look like it, huh? Girl, I tell you, we want them to know out there, we think we're 20 and 30 years old.
Come on now.
I'm telling you that.
Life doesn't shut down at 70.
He plays Santa Claus all the time. So I told him yesterday, Mommy was kissing Santa. I said, I started to sit on your lap and just go like that. He said, well, why didn't you? That's all having fun too.
I love it. But you can, and that's what people don't realize. Some people realize is what you make it. And you have to make it fun. So, but we thank you all. We thank you all. You all don't have to leave, but I'm going to end Facebook world. We hope you go back and listen. We hope you join some of the activities that a lot of these married couples have going on, and get ready for October 7th through the 8th.
It's going to be powerful.
And we said forever. Okay. So be ready. Have a great Christmas and the rest of your year.
Merry Christmas.